Welcome. Today, we embark on a journey into the heart of hope. Our planet is a vibrant tapestry, but for too long, we've pulled at its threads, pushing species to the brink. Yet, there's another story, one of resilience and redemption. Against the odds, people unite to mend what's been broken, showing humanity at its best. We'll witness 5 miracles, stories of creatures given a second chance by those who once threatened them. These are tales of triumph, not despair. Our story begins in the vast, open skies of North America, where the California Condor once reigned supreme. With its enormous wings outstretched, this magnificent bird soared effortlessly above rugged mountains and deep canyons, a living symbol of wild freedom and the untamed spirit of the West. With a 10-foot wingspan, these giants were the largest flying land birds in North America. They ruled the western coast, gliding on thermal currents for hours, searching for carrion. As nature's undertakers, condors played a vital role in the ecosystem, cleaning the land and preventing the spread of disease. But the 20th century brought disaster. Lead poisoning from spent ammunition, habitat destruction, and direct persecution by humans decimated their numbers. The world changed rapidly, and the condor's ancient way of life was shattered by pollution and encroaching civilization. By the early 1980s, only 27 condors remained in the wild. Their haunting silhouettes became rare, and extinction seemed not just possible, but inevitable. The fate of a species hung by a thread. In a bold and controversial move, conservationists made a heart-wrenching decision to capture every last wild condor. For a moment in time, the California condor became extinct in the wild, its survival entrusted entirely to human hands. Many doubted the plan. Could a bird so wild and ancient ever thrive in captivity? The risks were enormous, and the world watched with skepticism and hope. But inside the San Diego and Los Angeles zoos, a new chapter began. Dedicated teams of scientists and keepers worked around the clock, determined to give the condor a second chance. To prevent chicks from imprinting on humans, scientists used condor-shaped hand puppets to feed and nurture them. Every detail was carefully considered, from diet to socialization, to ensure these birds would one day return to the wild. Every egg was precious, every fledgling a hard-won victory. The birth of each chick brought hope, and the team celebrated every milestone, no matter how small. Years of painstaking work followed, overcoming disease, genetic challenges, and the complexities of condor behavior. Scientists studied their every move, learning how to prepare them for life beyond the aviary. In 1992, after years of preparation, the first captive-bred condors were released into California's wild canyons. It was a moment of both triumph and uncertainty. Would they survive? Could they adapt to a world so different from the one their ancestors knew? The world watched, anxious and hopeful, as these birds took their first tentative flights to freedom. Setbacks came quickly. Lead poisoning persisted, and both birds and humans had much to learn. Each loss was a painful reminder of the challenges ahead, but also a lesson for the future. But the condors adapted. They learned to forage, found mates, and, against the odds, began to raise young in the wild. Slowly, the population grew, and hope returned to the canyons. Today, over 500 condors exist, with more than half soaring free across the American West. Their return is one of the most remarkable conservation stories of our time. When you see a condor's shadow sweep the land, you witness a resurrection, a living testament to resilience, hope, and the power of collective action. This is what's possible when we refuse to give up, when we unite to protect what is precious and irreplaceable. The Lord of the Skies has returned, not by chance, but by human will, compassion, and a shared desire to right a terrible wrong. The condor story is a reminder that even on the brink of extinction, hope can take flight. The silence in the canyons has been broken by the whisper of giant wings, and the California condor soars once more, a living legend reborn. Now to the Arabian Peninsula's searing sands, where the sun blazes down on endless dunes and the air shimmers with heat. This is a land of extremes, where only the hardiest creatures survive. Among these survivors is the Arabian Oryx, a creature perfectly adapted to this harsh environment, and a symbol of resilience in the face of adversity. With its striking white coat that reflects the sun's rays and long spear-like horns, the oryx was once a legendary sight. It could survive for months without drinking water, drawing moisture from the plants it ate, and enduring the relentless desert heat. For centuries, the oryx was hunted by Bedouins for its meat and hide. But it was the arrival of modern firearms and vehicles that made hunting devastatingly efficient, pushing the species to the brink. By 1972, the last wild oryx was killed. The Arabian oryx, once the pride of the desert, was declared extinct in the wild. A haunting silence fell over the sands where herds once roamed. Yet, hope flickered in the unlikeliest of places. In 1962, conservationists launched Operation Oryx, capturing a handful of survivors from the wild. These precious few were flown across the world to form the world herd in Arizona, far from their native home. This small, carefully chosen group carried the genetic future of the entire species. Every individual was vital, every birth a victory against extinction. Under the watchful eyes of zookeepers and scientists, the oryx thrived in captivity. Their numbers, once perilously low, began to grow as calves were born and raised in safety. Zoos and conservation centers around the world joined forces, exchanging animals and expertise to ensure genetic diversity and a healthy population for future reintroductions. A decade after extinction in the wild, the first oryx returned to Oman's protected reserves. It was a moment of hope, a species given a second chance. Instincts intact, the oryx explored their ancestral lands, bred in the wild, and slowly reclaimed their place in the desert ecosystem. The success in Oman inspired further reintroductions across the Arabian Peninsula, with herds now roaming in Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and beyond. Protected areas were established, anti-poaching laws enforced, and local communities, once hunters, became guardians of the oryx, working together to ensure its survival. Today, over 1,000 Arabian oryx roam free across the deserts. Their status has been upgraded from extinct in the wild to vulnerable, a rare conservation triumph. The white unicorn of the desert walks the earth once more, a living testament to what can be achieved when nations, scientists, and local people unite for a common cause. Next, we travel to North America's rolling plains, once home to 60 million bison. These giants shaped the land and the cultures of Native American tribes, but the 19th century brought slaughter, hunted for hides, sport, and to subjugate indigenous peoples. By the late 1880s, fewer than 1,000 bison remained, most in captivity. The continent's keystone species was nearly erased, yet a handful of ranchers, conservationists, and leaders like Theodore Roosevelt saw the need to act. They gathered the last bison, protecting them in ranches and new wildlife refuges. These herds became the foundation for recovery. Shielded from hunting, bison survived and multiplied. Over decades, new herds were established in parks, refuges, and tribal lands. Native American tribes played a key role, restoring bison to their ancestral lands and culture. Today, over 500,000 bison roam in all 50 states, shaping the prairie once more. The bison's return is a living reminder that even after cataclysmic loss, recovery is possible. Beneath the prairie grasses lives the elusive black-footed ferret, twice thought extinct. This masked hunter depends almost entirely on prairie dogs for food and shelter. As settlers eradicated prairie dogs, ferrets vanished too. By 1979, the ferret was declared extinct. Then, in 1981, a ranch dog in Wyoming brought home a ferret, proof the species survived. Biologists found a tiny, fragile colony, but disease soon decimated it. By 1985, only 18 ferrets remained. Conservationists captured them all, launching a desperate captive breeding program. Breeding ferrets proved difficult, but scientists persevered, pioneering new techniques. Slowly, the population grew, managed with precision to ensure genetic health. In 1991, the first captive-bred ferrets returned to the wild. They faced challenges: disease, learning to hunt, and surviving in managed prairie dog colonies. Today, around 1,000 ferrets live in captivity and reintroduction sites. The masked hunter stalks the prairie once more, a lesson in the power of science and determination. Our final story takes us deep into the heart of China's misty bamboo forests, where ancient trees rise through the fog and the air is filled with the gentle rustle of leaves. This enchanting landscape is the home of the giant panda, one of the world's most beloved and instantly recognizable animals. With its striking black and white coat and gentle demeanor, the panda has become a global symbol of wildlife conservation, inspiring people across continents to care about the fate of endangered species. Though it belongs to the bear family, the panda's diet is unique. It survives almost entirely on bamboo, a plant that is both abundant and challenging to digest. To get enough nutrition, pandas must spend up to 14 hours a day eating, consuming as much as 40 pounds of bamboo daily. But this dependence on bamboo makes them vulnerable to changes in their environment. Habitat loss, combined with a reluctance to breed in captivity and a naturally low birth rate, made the panda's future seem increasingly bleak. As forests were cleared for agriculture and development, pandas became trapped in isolated patches of bamboo, cut off from one another and from the resources they need to survive. Many struggled to find enough food or suitable mates, leading to declining populations and a growing sense of urgency among conservationists. The panda's plight became a global cause, drawing international attention, funding, and expertise. China, working with global partners, established a vast network of protected reserves to safeguard remaining panda habitats. Entire villages were relocated, forests were replanted, and intensive scientific research began in earnest. Scientists worked tirelessly to unlock the panda's reproductive secrets, leading to breakthroughs that boosted captive breeding success and increased the number of healthy cubs born each year. Research centers like Chengdu became world leaders in panda husbandry, setting new standards for care and conservation. To help wild pandas, corridors were created to connect fragmented habitats, allowing pandas to travel safely, find new territories, and meet potential mates, which is vital for genetic diversity. The result of these combined efforts was remarkable. Wild panda numbers began to rise, and for the first time in decades, hope returned to the forests of China. In 2016, the panda's official status was upgraded from endangered to vulnerable, a testament to what determined conservation can achieve. Saving the panda also protected countless other species that share its ecosystem, from rare birds to unique plants. The panda's story is a powerful reminder that by saving one species, we can help safeguard an entire kingdom of life. The journeys of these 5 species are beacons of hope. They prove extinction is not inevitable. When we act with will, science, and compassion, we can mend what's broken. Each animal reminds us that positive change is possible. Our actions, big or small, ripple outward. We are part of nature, and its fate is our own. The fight for biodiversity continues. Let these triumphs inspire us to do more. Support conservation, share these stories, and remember, we are all custodians of this world. Together we can ensure future generations witness the wonder of life, wild and free.